What's up, everyone? This is Nate, and I'm back with another video. Now, normally my Wednesday videos are reserved for either some sort of review of like older movies done, we had Nate's Boutique for a little while where I was just doing boutique releases and things like that. Director top fives. Recently, I did a series where I did all my top 10s of 2023. So top 10 favorite, least favorite, worst, best. Now, what we're going to be doing is I had an idea. I have all these movies, all these box sets, and I haven't watched all of the movies in a lot of them. I haven't seen some of them. I haven't watched any of the movies. I bought the box set and I wanted to dive into them. So what I decided I'm going to be doing is every few weeks, I'm going to be picking a box set and I'm going to watch all the movies in that box set. I will then come here. I will give you a review for each of the movies as I go through, work through that set. And then I will rank the movies worst to best at the end. So I actually decided I was kind of trying to decide which set I wanted to start with, Columbia classics. I haven't watched all those movies. I have some Criterion sets, but I ended up deciding that the first set I actually am going to do is a set that comes from Imprint. And this is going to be the directed by Walter Hill box set. So this is a total of 6 movies. Here's the movies: Hard Times, The Driver, The Long Riders, Extreme Prejudice, Johnny Handsome, and Broken Trail, which I think Broken Trail is like a little mini series of some sort, but I'll be watching it and reviewing it. So with that being said, the first movie in this box set is Hard Times. This is starring Charles Bronson and James Coburn. It is from 1975. It is set in 1933, New Orleans. So again, Walter Hill, if you're not familiar, director who directs very kind of like macho, I guess you could call them like guy movies. You know what I mean? They're not really filled with romance, and they're pretty much straightforward, either action or just kind of tough guy movies. This is no different. I had never seen this movie, so it was a first time watch. Everything in here will be a first time watch except Extreme Prejudice. I've seen that. This is a movie where Charles Bronson, he plays his character who basically just, literally the beginning of the movie, he just shows up on a train. Like he's just on a train. He rolls into town, gets off the train. He witnesses this bare knuckle boxing match. And then he goes to the guy, James Coburn character. He's kind of the manager or money man of the loser of the fight. And he goes to him and he's like, hey, I think we could make some money because I'm a good fighter. And that's it. That's all the backstory there is. You don't know where he came from. You don't know why he's a good fighter. Nothing. But he tells him he's a good fighter. And then the movie is pretty much him being a good fighter and kind of just follows him and James Coburn. There's a little more to it than that. Like James Coburn's character, he has trouble with gambling, so he gets his money and gets involved with some loan shark people. He's constantly having trouble paying that back. So you have that element to it. It's a pretty straightforward movie, to be honest. There's not a lot story-wise that's like very deep or anything like that. It is straightforward. 2 guys, they form a relationship, one fights, one controls the money. You do have a little bit of side story, like Charles Bronson meets this lady who is played by Jill Ireland, who I believe it was his real life wife. She was in that other movie I reviewed, Breakout or whatever, and I think they were married. He meets her, they have a little thing, but nothing really gets tons of attention other than James Coburn's money problems and Charles Bronson just beating everybody. Like he beats everybody. He fights pretty bad. And then it leads up to the last fight, right? Like they kidnap James Coburn. None of this is spoilers, believe me. They kidnap him and then, he has to fight to save his friend. So I will say, as far as the action goes, this is 1975. There's no other form of action than fistfights. And it's bare knuckle boxing. They also kick. So I don't know, maybe this is like early MMA style fighting. One fights in a cage. They do kicks. They do little kicks and stuff. But it was fun. I thought it was a good movie. It's easy, 90 minutes. Charles Bronson, great. The man of few words. Doesn't talk a lot. Lets his fist do the talking. He's jacked, so that was fun. And then James Coburn is the slick weasel, kind of money guy. Every time he talks, though, all I could hear is Mr. Waternoose from Monsters, Inc. And he did the voice for him. So I just kept hearing the Monsters, Inc. guy. But either way, I liked it. I cannot give it a crazy high score because it is so kind of basic and simple. But it was entertaining. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was solid. A good start to this box set. I'm hoping, maybe they get better from here, but this was not a bad film by any means. Definitely one very straightforward. If you like action movies or if you like 70s films, I think it's worth a watch. If you're a Charles Bronson fan, I think it's worth the watch. He's solid in it. But yeah, it was a pretty fun movie, so a good way to start this box set. Next, I will be reviewing The Driver. So that one will be the one that I'm going to do next week. Until then, take it easy.